Welcome dear students. In this second unit we are discussing various compounding and ancillary equipments, their construction working principle and applications. In this model we will be discussing the construction working and applications of internal mixer, particularly Banbury mixer. Internal mixers are highly used in large industries to prepare the compounds instead of two-roll mill. There are two basic designs of rotors in internal mixers, that is non-intermeshing. We will discuss elaborately about this non-intermeshing and intermeshing. Non-intermeshing example Banbury mixer, and intermeshing is intermix. First we shall see the Banbury mixer, that is the construction of this Banbury mixer. The Banbury mixer consists of a ram and a hopper. This is the hopper through which the material is fed into the internal chamber, and it consists of channels for cooling. This is channel for cooling, and a rotor. This rotor is non-intermeshing type, and after mixing is over, it is the material is discharged through this discharge door. The construction is looks very simple, that it consists of a ram, hopper and a casing, rotor and a discharge door. Everything is enclosed in a chamber. This chamber which has channels for cooling. So the Banbury mixer consists of a completely enclosed mixing chamber in which the two spiral shaped rotors are rotated. This is the spiral shaped rotors. Spiral shaped rotors are rotated. They will not touch with each other, so it is called as non-intermeshing. If both touch with each other like two-roll mill, then they are intermeshing. Here it is non-intermeshing. The hopper at the top to receive the compounding ingredients. So the compounding ingredients will be fed from this hopper. A door at the bottom for discharging the mixed batch of the compound, and rotors are driven by electric motors. These rotors are driven by electric motors. The pressure is applied in the form of top by plunger. The pressure is applied using this ram. The hollow rotors and double wall chambers are used to provide the cooling and heating. These are channels for cooling and heating. Now we shall see the operation of this Banbury mixer. First, the ram is lowered. The ram will be lowered up to this point, and the material is mixed or first loaded via the throat. Now we shall discuss the mixing operation of the Banbury mixer. First, the ram is move upward. And the material to be mixed or loaded via this throat. When mixing, the ram is lowered. Then the ram is lowered and sits on the top of the rolling bank. Here there will be a rolling bank. Here the material mix and there will be a rolling bank. The ram is usually operated pneumatically. The load applied to the rolling bank can be varied by altering the pressure. The pressure we are applying here can be varied, and this varies the load applied to the rolling bank. When the mixing of compound, the shearing takes place in the following areas. The shearing can take place so during mixing, the shearing can take place in the following areas: between the rotors, that is between these rotors, and in the rolling bank, that is here the ram will be there and a rolling bank will be there. So the shearing can take place in this rolling bank, and between the rotor and the chamber, this area. So this is first, this is second and third. So in these three areas the shearing can take place. First, between the rotors, certain amount of shear is applied to the compound by rotating the rotors in opposite direction and at a different speed. And in the rolling bank, compound is sheared between the rotor and the ram. And third is between the rotor and the chamber wall. So when the compound is returned to the rolling bank after exciting the nip, the shearing action can take place between the rotor and the chamber wall. The major amount of shearing takes place here in this area only. So between the rotor and the chamber wall. So during processing, the level of shear imposed on the compound is controlled by varying the rotor speed, this rotor speed, and the ram pressure, by varying the rotor speed and the ram pressure. The water or steam is usually circulated through the water or steam is circulated through hollow rotor and the chamber to provide cooling or heating. The mixing process inside the internal mixer, the mixing process inside the mixer, in order to take place, it should have the correct volume of material to be loaded. Here the volume of material to be loaded correctly. If the batch size is too large, like this, if the batch size is too large, then unmixed material will remain at the base of the feet of the throat at the end of mixing cycle. So proper mixing will not be take place. Also, if the batch size is too small, like this, if the batch size is very small, then also the mixing will be insufficient and slow. So the volume of the batch is usually 66%. It should be 66%. It is called a fill factor. It is called a fill factor. So what is fill factor? The ratio of volume of the batch to the volume of the mixer. So what is fill factor? Fill factor is nothing but the ratio of volume of the batch to the volume of the chamber or mixer. Now we shall see the advantages of this Banbury mixer. In Banbury mixer, more uniform compounds and a large batch can be generally prepared by this internal mixers. We can prepare large batch. In Tural mill, we can prepare only up to say 15 to 20 kgs. Here we can prepare up to 100 kg or 150 kg. and it is free from dust, especially during the preparation of filler based compounds. So for example, carbon black, silica or some other particulate fillers, when we add, it will not form that dust. So dust free environment will be there. So this is the second advantage. And the third advantage is chance of accident is less, because it contains the enclosed mixing chamber. So the advantages are large batch can be made and dust free, accident free. So these are the advantages, but it has some limitations also. It is very difficult to clean the internal mixer thoroughly, like a two-roll mill. We cannot clean the mixer very thoroughly. So this is the only disadvantage. Then we shall see the intermesh. Now we shall see the intermix. At the start we have seen that non-intermeshing type is Banbury and the intermeshing type is the intermesh. What is intermesh? The both the rolls will come in contact with each other at most of the part is called intermesh. So intermix is a new model of internal mixer. Banbury everything is same, only the rotor design is different for Banbury and intermix. Here the rotor is intermeshing type, where in Banbury it is non-intermeshing type, that's all. All the other things, everything is same, all the operation condition, everything is same. Due to this intermeshing rotors, it provides better heat transfer and better heat sensitive compounds can be prepared using this intermix. Intermix has the same general appearance of the as that of the Banbury. The only difference is the rotors. Here it will have the solid rotor and the mixing is carried out between the rotors also. As in Banbury, the ram operates to keep the material between the rotors. So everything is same, only the rotor design is different. So with this, we have elaborately seen the construction, working principle, and this intermix and Banbury mixers are used to prepare compounds in very large volumes of plastics as well as rubber industries, mainly for large volume of material can be prepared using this Banbury and intermix. So these are the applications. With this, we come to the end of this unit. In our next module, we will be discussing another compounding equipment, construction and working principle and applications. Thank you.